Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football, welcome to Marseille versus Liverpool in the Champions League Live, and welcome to the best football community outside the United stand in the world. You're very welcome. I hope you're all doing very well. Lots to get into, and we've got 5 minutes to go to kick off, so I'm pretty happy with that. Welcome to the Members Club Lingby. Thanks for getting the badge in, and full sale only, says the Busby Way. Hurry up, the match is going to start, says Extra. It really isn't. It really isn't. But let me give you some results. Galatasaray drew 1-1 with Atletico Madrid, and Frankfurt, oh my God, Bundesliga bridge, they're having a bad season. They've lost 3-2 to Karabag. But there are big games going on tonight. Chelsea play Paphos, they need to win that. And Newcastle play PSV, they need to win that as well. Chelsea leading against Man City. They can't be playing Paphos and Man City. Oh, women, okay. People do watch that, so maybe you're interested in that. Chelsea are beating Man City women. Contextually, I don't know what that means. I always thought Arsenal were the best. Arsenal are top in the Champions League. That's a nice little segue. But looking tonight, Chelsea need a win. They're in 14th place. A win could put them in and around the top 8, which avoids the playoff. Same for Newcastle. They're in 13th place on 10. A win for them could get them in and avoid a playoff. As for Liverpool, they are on 11th. They're 11th with 12 points. They are playing, of course, Marseille, who are 18th with 9 points. A very big game for them. A win for Liverpool, again, could get them into the top 8 going into the final week. But for Marseille, it's a very important game for them. Because, and the reason we say because, is because, I've had a wet bit on the back of my neck there. Next week, Marseille have got to go to Club Brugge away. They could fall out of the qualifier places if they lose 2. Liverpool have got Karabag at home, so you'd expect Liverpool to get a win tonight and next week, and they would be in the top 8, avoiding those qualifiers. So Liverpool looking for 2 wins here. Well, what's the team news? Well, it should be on the screen news, but I can't see the screen because even with glasses, it's too small for me. So I'm going to give you the team news. Liverpool against Marseille. Big news, of course, is Mason Greenwood. The former Man United generational talent is up front for Marseille, the number 10. Very intrigued to see how he's going to play. De Zerbi is the coach for Marseille, been linked with the Manchester United job. And Højbjerg in the midfield for Marseille. You might remember him from his United days. Pavard as well. Not Man United days, but you'll know who that is. Aubameyang, I think, is on the bench. He is. Yeah, Aubameyang's on the bench. But Liverpool are Alisson, Kerkez, Frimpong, Gomez, Van Dijk, Gravenberch, McAllister, Szoboszlai, Salah, Wirtz, Ekitike. I mean, this is probably their best 11, isn't it? This is probably their best 11. I mean, who are they missing? Obviously, Isak, but Gakpo's on the bench. Chiesa's on the bench. Andy Robertson's on the bench. So they're not really missing anybody. Konate, of course, injured, I suppose. But Salah back. Are Liverpool going to ignite their season for the run-in? Or are they going to find another way for drama? Yeah, going to be very interesting. I think Liverpool will win tonight. But if they didn't win tonight, Bournemouth away on Saturday, Alonso, can he take the job? I don't know. Score prediction, says Vlad. I will go with a Liverpool win by 3-1. Yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. Liverpool to win 3-1. Yeah. Oh, Konate isn't injured. He's got a family matter. Sorry about that. I'm not a Liverpool fan. 3,500 tuning in. Please do share the video. Biggest and best community, like I said, for a reason. So get your comments in. And it's funny, I don't know whether you watched the United stand this morning, but I was telling a story about how my former family member, well, they're still a family member, they're just dead, used to liken women to cars. In the sense that he would always say that a Volvo is what you want for a woman. And the explanation would be, no one's ever going to complain really about the look of a Volvo. They're well built, they're very reliable, they're very efficient, and they're very safe. Some people go for a Ferrari because of how it looks, but a Ferrari is not economical, it's very expensive, it's very unreliable, and it's not very good in all conditions. And you can go for a 4x4, which is very good in difficult conditions, but also is very, very expensive and big and bulky, which is not what everyone likes. So go for the Volvo. Why are you talking about this? Because I'm saying, well, it also works for football clubs, doesn't it? You know, you get the... And actually, somebody said, well, Man United must be an Alfa Romeo because they look good, but they're a bag of shit. So, yeah, it's... maybe we can play that game. I was just thinking about, like, you know, I like to do the watch-alongs, but I like a little bit about... I like a bit of that sort of stuff. So give me football clubs and the car they would be. What happened to your family member? It got run over by a Land Rover. I've always preached to you how good Volvo is, Mark, says Nathan. I nearly bought a Volvo. I did nearly buy a Volvo, but my wife said no, it's for old people. She's got more street cred than me. She said, I was looking at what make and models are. I'm not very good with cars. A Volvo, is it a VC60 or something like that? And she said, no, people in their 50s buy them. And I went, well, you know, XC60, that was it, yeah. So I went with an Audi, which again, an Audi is a very good woman. No, that's my bloody uncle. I mean, an Audi is a good car. BMW, Mercedes. All, you know, you're not going to get any complaints about how it looks. Very reliable, mainly. Decent tifos here. I think we had a super chat about that. Tifo is absolutely amazing, says Rajaf. Tough game for Newcastle tonight. PSV are very good, says the UK. Well, Ajax, we'll keep an eye on that. And did you see the Man City game yesterday? I didn't see the Man City game yesterday, but I saw the results. But I'm looking forward to this one tonight. That is a very good tifo, isn't it? I didn't realise what it was. I didn't see the detail of... Are they samurai? I think they are. It's very good. Very impressive. It's amazing how they do tend to do things better in Europe, don't they? In stadium. Although they are trying to bring the tifo to the UK, aren't they? And there's no reason why... There's no reason why you couldn't. I mean, we're never going to have the atmosphere of the Bundesliga in a Premier League ground, but we can raise tifos like that. Right, let's see how it goes. Mason Greenwood, number 10. And up and running we are. Let's see how it goes tonight. I think this is the first time he's played English opposition as well, isn't it? Did you see... done that one, thank you very much. Thanks for the early super chats, by the way. You can do that through the $sign. I've got a new M2. It's absolutely rapid, says Swallow. What does it say on that picture behind you? Definitely, maybe. Yes. PC, it does. He played Villa in a pre-season game. Yeah, well, we don't count that. He doesn't actually play up front, does he? Because I think he plays off the right. These glasses are really dirty. I can tell. I can tell. Glasses wearers, you know, you're talking my language. You know what I mean. You know, you've played the game. You've played the game. Yeah, I could tell there was a bit of mist in there. I can see clearly now, the mist has gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. That's better. That's better. Liverpool on the attack here with Szoboszlai. So yeah, look, what we're looking for from Liverpool here is something we haven't seen all season, which is a bit of fluidity and a bit of movement and a bit of speed. I think all season we've been expecting Liverpool to start finding some rhythm. It does tend to happen in the second half of the season as well. When you think about Man City at the start of last season, they were absolutely crap. Then they finished the season quite strongly. So it'd be interesting if Liverpool can do that as well. Because I think they've become very pragmatic and very slow. Dune says, hopefully Newcastle get a battering. Well, I want... there is a positive to all the Premier League clubs going through to the next stage in the Champions League, because I don't know whether anybody... It's normally about this time of year that you start to get it from the journos, how we're doing in the coefficient league. And obviously qualification gives you a lot of points. So we'll know more at the end of the month. But if every one of the English clubs makes it through to the knockout stages, then we'll probably be doing very well for 5th place again. Could you see Mason returning to the Prem, says Speedy Shorts? Yeah, I think it probably will happen. I don't think he's going to stay in France for the entirety of his career, is he? It's just what Premier League club would do it. I mean, he's 24 and he'll be 25 next season, so he's still got plenty of time. There would be a backlash. It wouldn't be as bad as it would have been if Man United had taken him back, and I don't think Man United can take him back. I think the feeling would be, rightly or wrongly, I think there would be a movement against it. I think if you went to another English club, there'd be a bit of a movement against it, but I think it would be easier to go to another English club other than Man United. I don't know whether an Arsenal or a Liverpool, a Man City or a Chelsea would do it, but you could maybe see one of the next tier of clubs doing it. Marseille scored 35 goals this season and he's got 20, says Robert McCormack. I think Robert McCormack could take him back. I hope he goes for big money as we get a 50% sell on. It's not as big as you think, though. That's what she said. Because we get 50% of the gap between what they bought him for and what he goes for. So I can't remember what he went. Good play by Liverpool here. Gravenberch wins a corner. Quite a fast start by Liverpool. I can't see any of the top 6 teams doing it, if I'm honest, because the obvious, it'll be a Palace or Bournemouth or Everton, says Dave. And he might want more than that. I mean, he might not bother. He might go to somewhere, he might go back to Spain. Ekitike's done a, what's he done to his hair, Ekitike? He's done a Garnacho. No, it's not, it's more blonde than that. Corner to Liverpool here. Benjamin Pavard. Salah's on the corner. Bloody hell, ref, get the game going, mate. This corner was given an hour ago. I've had a chat with people. Dominic says, I work at 4 a.m. in the States and your morning show is the start to my morning. Love it. Who would you start, bench, sell? Wharton, Anderson, Stiller. Oh, good question. I would start Anderson, bench, Stiller and sell Wharton. So good cross. Keeper's down. And Gomez heads it wide. Difficult header, but didn't get hold of it anyway. I mean, the keeper there should not have gone down off that. Very soft. Gomez maybe should have done a little bit better. Aaron says, I'd start Wharton any day of the week. Why is Alan Pardew refereeing this game, says Mark Ash. We've got a Newcastle goal. Apparently, we have. Good shout. We have got a Newcastle goal. They're 1-0 up against PSV in the first 10 minutes. Important game for Newcastle. They're in the playoff positions, but they can push towards the top 8 with a win tonight. Their final game, I think they've got PSG. No. I think I've got that wrong. I don't think Newcastle have got PSG. They have got PSG. I was right. Bloody hell, Newcastle do need to win tonight then. Alisson quickly off his line. Goal scorer for Newcastle. Can you guess who it is yet? Whizzer. Well, after his performance against Man City in the Cup last week, he owes them some goals, doesn't he? 1-0 to Newcastle. First goal of the night in the Champions League. Marseille moving the ball down the right-hand side here. Weyer. I think it'll be a tough game for Marseille. Liverpool look like they're up for it. Need to finish the season strongly. I mean, look, stranger things have happened. Liverpool could click and win the Champions League. Nice play, offside. Hi, Mark. Can we get a poll about Salah if he belongs in the Premier League All Greats or he's just a stats merchant? Please, says Columbus. Well, I know my opinion on that, but I will pop it in there. Is Salah a Premier League great? Yes or no? And we've also had a super chat from Niall. He says, do you think Agate can come good instead of going for the likes of Loftus-Cheek, and we should call him Loftus-Cheek, actually, if you're not go for him. Loftus-Cheek and Ndidi, and so on. Well, I think Man United need to buy a midfielder, so I'm not going to say, oh, Mason Greenwood's down the wing here. Does well. Tidy feet. However, I do think Agate is a better option than Ndidi and Loftus-Cheek. Thoughts on Amas to Norwich, says Rajaf. I think it's a shame for Sheffield Wednesday, but they're in. Oh, good tackle. Wide to Greenwood. Here he is. Got a bit of space up against Kirkez. Watch him on his left foot. Puts a cross in. Cleared away. Amas to Norwich. Look, it's a shame for Sheffield Wednesday because he was doing well there, but you've got to do what's good for your career, and he's had a very good time there. Barcelona are losing, apparently. They're losing to Slavia Prague. 1-0, but it's very early days. They're in a good position, though. Barcelona. They're in the top. No, they're not. Where are Barcelona in the league? Ah, no, Barcelona are not actually in a very good position. They're in 15th at the moment. Played 7, won 3, drawn 2, lost 2. So Barcelona are not where I thought they would be. They need a couple of wins to get themselves into the top 8. Next week, they're playing at home and they're playing Copenhagen. So you'd expect them to get the 6 points to get themselves in there. Keep an eye on that, though. They are losing 1-0 to Slavia Prague. And it's Marseille on the attack. They're having a few attacks in this game. It's a nice ball. Oh, close. But Alisson pounces on it like a cat on a bird in a garden. And if that upsets you, tough. It's called nature. I'm not going to apologise for it, and you can't phone the RSPCA because that's what cats do. They are vicious. And if we were smaller than cats, we wouldn't have them as pets. They would eat us. It's only because they're small that they give in. They are vicious animals, and they are merciless, and they are ruthless. And if we were smaller than them, they would eat us. Would you prefer Ndidi or Didi? This is Gazi. Yeah, we're not answering stuff like that. Tracy says, when is FC26 back and who would you sign for Liverpool? I am not sure when FC26 is going to come back because I want to do Cooking with Goldbridge first this week. So maybe next week. And who would I sign for Liverpool? Somebody crap so they get worse. No, what do I think Liverpool need? I don't know what Liverpool needs. I feel like Liverpool need a manager. I don't think Liverpool have a. I think Liverpool need more players. I don't think their squad's as good as it should be. They need a centre back. Oh, well, I mean, haven't been live doing a Liverpool watch-along since Gahey signed for Manchester City, but I don't know whether that's just. I don't know how you sort of compute that or square that off if you're a Liverpool fan, because he literally was going to sign for you 5 months ago and Crystal Palace pulled the plug, and then he goes and signs for Man City. But that's the flippant nature of the modern footballer, isn't it? They don't have loyalty to teams. They go for what's best for them at any given moment. And Man City made a play, and he went for it. He had no loyalty to Liverpool, so he took it. But I think Liverpool needed him more than Man City, if I'm being honest. But obviously Liverpool didn't want to pay what Man City were going to pay, which was, what, £20 million, 300 grand a week, and probably a big wedge of a signing on fee as well, which I think for teams like Liverpool and Arsenal, they won't do it. Have I seen the Everton TikTok? Yeah. So basically, me and Robbie did Premier League predictions last week, and I was talking about something I had very little knowledge on, and I thought Robbie did, and he didn't. I didn't know what nationality Idrissa Gueye and Ndia were. I should have known the Idrissa Gueye one because I had a very strong feeling he was from the Ivory Coast, but I didn't know. And Robbie said it with more conviction than me that he knew where they were from. And we were wrong. So the Everton TikTok admin did us. But in my defence, I would say, well, look, what do you expect? How would I know anything about Everton when you've bloody banned me from the ground? I don't watch Everton because I'm banned. So how would I know? In my defence. Next week's games are all on at 8 o'clock, says Zahn. Well, it's because it's the final week, isn't it? It's the final week of the Champions League next week, so everyone plays at the same time. Next Wednesday at 8 o'clock. So we will be live. I don't know which game we'll do. I get the feeling we won't be doing Arsenal because they've definitely qualified. I suppose it's what game's got the most jeopardy, really. Ooh. Mason isn't as two-footed after moving to right wing, says Zaid. Newcastle PSG might be a good game, yeah. I don't know what I did to Everton, but I was meant to be playing in a charity game, and then the charity said they won't let you play. And we tried to find out why, and they wouldn't tell us. I reckon it was either because I took the piss out of Pickford or Sean Dyche. One of the two. Lovely ball into McAllister, and a lovely ball into Ekitike. He still got it. Into McAllister. They've got to go wide there. They've overplayed this. Overplayed that, Liverpool. And it's Marseille with a break. A 2v2. But he's going to have to go back. Liverpool have got loads of players back. And he goes all the way back to his own half. That's crap. Absolutely shit, that was. Idrissa Gueye is Senegalese, not Ivorian Coast. Yeah, I always thought he was Ivory Coast. I don't know why. So there you go. I don't know. I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer to everything. Do you ever do Europa League watch-alongs, says Nico? No. Napoli are playing Chelsea next week as well. That'd be a good one. We'll probably just skip between them all. Would I take Reece James at Man United? Yes. I'd be a little bit worried about his fitness. But I'd definitely take him. Oh, Salah's got a bit of space in the box here. Lots of Marseille players back. Goes into Frimpong. Cross is decent. Ekitike. Headed away. Gravenberch on the edge. You feel like there's a goal coming in this game. Kirkez. Strange cross. Keeper doesn't get hold of it. Corner. Got a Chelsea goal coming in as well. Apparently. I can't confirm it on mine at the moment. I cannot confirm a Chelsea goal. Newcastle are winning 1-0 against PSV. Slavia Prague are still 1-0 up against Barca. I'm not getting a Chelsea goal though. Apologies. Goal not given, says Luke. Amric says he's Senegalese, not Ivorian Coast. I don't know why. I've always thought Idrissa Gueye was from the Ivory Coast. I don't know why. And I'm thinking, why did I think that? I don't know. Chelsea not goal not being given, says Tull. Corner Liverpool. Keeper doesn't get there, but Mason Greenwood should clear this, and he does. It's not on, that's why. I wondered why that was happening. Mr. Tears says shows his football knowledge. Mate, I don't really care. Like, the United Stand is... I say I don't care and then I tell you I do. The United Stand is beyond 2 million subscribers and is the biggest United fan community in the world. That's Football is the biggest football community in the world. The fact that I don't know some players' nationality... I mean, there'd be loads of European players that end their careers without me knowing what their nationality is. I'm trying to think of play. Oh, just wide from Alexi McAllister. I'm trying to think of some players that I don't know what their nationality is. Kirkes, I would say. I feel like I should know this. Is Kirkes Hungarian? I'll take a guess on that. Yeah. He is. I think I've got that one right. Okay, let me have a look at this Liverpool team then. Szoboszlai, he is Hungarian, isn't he? Szoboszlai. Yeah. Obviously, I know Van Dijk, Gomez, Frimpong is Dutch. Mason Greenwood into the box. And Liverpool clear it. Gravenberch, Dutch. McAllister, Argentinian. Szoboszlai, I've done. Ekitike is French, Salah Egyptian, and Wirtz is German. So, but they're Premier League players. My football knowledge is quite good. My definitive era is probably 1992 to 2010, which is funny because I started watching more football in 2014 by doing the United Stand, but I was more of a Bamba Gascoigne then, especially in your school years. Sticker books and all that. Do the Marseille squad. Højbjerg is Danish. Greenwood, I presume is still English, but because I know he was talking about playing for Jamaica. It shows your ignorance to football outside the UK, says Tevin. So, don't care. I wouldn't call it ignorance. I'd call it focusing on what you like. It's like walking into a bar when you're single and going, I'm only going to focus on these people because I think they're my type. Oh, ignorant to the others. No, just not interested in them. Have you seen the movie Fackham Hall? Just finished it and it's brilliant. If you want to sit down and have a laugh for 2 hours, says Chris Liver. I've heard a few people mention that film, but I haven't watched it, no. I quite like doing the nationality game. Let me have a look at the Newcastle team. I reckon I'd probably know a lot of nationalities in the Premier League. So Pope's English, Trippier's English, Tau. Ooh. They got him from AC Milan. I'm thinking he's German. I think he's German. I don't know. I'm getting the word German for Tau. I know they bought him from AC Milan, but I think he is German. He is. Thank you very much. Okay, so we go on. Botman, Dutch. Pretty sure he's Dutch. Hall, Lewis Hall, English. Bruno Guimaraes, Brazilian. Tonali, Italian. Joel Linton, Brazilian. Barnes. Welsh. Harvey Barnes. Scottish. I'm sure. English? He's never been called up for England. I would have thought he would be. I think the Welsh one was wild, but I did think he wanted to play for Scotland. No, he is English. All right, okay, got that one wrong. Anthony Gordon, obviously English. Wizzer. Now, I ain't going to start guessing because people will start accusing me of something ridiculous. I don't know, Wizzer. I don't know. I think it would be a guess. Goal, Ekatike! What a goal that was. And the timing there will not save me from Wizzer's nationality because I'm not going to get it. But it's a good goal by Ekatike, so let's move on. The cross. I mean, look, he has been a good signing for Liverpool, hasn't he? It's going to be Salah, isn't it? No, it's not. It's going to be Salah into their best player this season, Szoboszlai. He's probably offside. Offside that, I reckon. I feel he's offside. Yeah, and they're very quick. They're very quick. You've got to say they're very, very quick on that. Well done. Good breakaway by Liverpool. They can take the positivity from that. Ekatike, I still think, has been a good signing. Wizzer, obviously, it's going to be Africa. I know he's from Africa, but I don't know what nationality he is. I don't know. I'd be guessing. And you shouldn't guess because it can offend people. So, I don't know. Isaac, Dutch. Sorry, Swedish. Swedish. He's Congolese. DR Congo. Thank you very much for the chat. Well done. These are the sort of things I would have known when I was at school. I don't know now. What's one League Two team you'd like to see in the Premier League in the future? Goes to the League Two league table and has a look. I tell you what, Bromley. I went to Wembley. I took Seb to Wembley for his first trip a couple of years ago to watch Bromley play Solihull Moors because they're just down the road from us in the National League playoff. And Bromley had loads of bloody fans there, about 25,000, which is a lot. They're top of League Two. I'm pleased for them because they were a non-league team a couple of years ago. So who would I want to see? Salford are fourth. I think now David Beckham's involved at Salford. I would like to see Salford go up. Yeah. But then again, Notts County, always preferred them to Forest. Tranmere Rovers are a proper old school team as well, but it is still Liverpool. Walsall's not too far away from me either. But yeah, probably Bromley or Salford, I think, in League Two. Or Notts County, one of them three. Zuta says Vizzer is actually Korean. Dave, thanks for your super chat. Should we support English teams to get 5 Premier League spots? To say, well, we're not in it. Man United aren't in it, so we actually should want the English teams to do well because 5th place is Champions League football, and that could make a massive difference to Manchester United. They've got a free kick here, Marseille. Thanks for your super chats. Please do share the video. We've got nearly got 10,000 watching. Greenwood might hit this free kick. No, I don't want Grimsby to do well. They can piss off. Will he shoot Greenwood or will he cross it? I think he'll cross it, won't he, from here? Can you do the nationality of the United squad? Piece of piss. Absolute piece of piss. I'd be embarrassed. It's a good cross by Greenwood. Oh, headed away, but they've got it on the back post. Oh, what a shot and a good save by Alisson. It was a good save by Alisson. And now there's a breakaway and it's going to be Mo Salah, but he ain't got the legs. He comes third in a 2-horse race. Keeper came from nowhere. Ain't got the legs anymore, Salah, has he? Who was that with the shot? He's a bit of a Cherky lookalike. Who had the shot? Tell me. Who had the shot for Marseille? I think he's their number 8. Gori. Frimpong with the cross. Keeper's onto it. Amin Gori. He's 25. And he's Algerian. And he's been at Marseille since the summer, having signed from Rennes, where he got 25 goals in 83 games. He's got 12 goals in 22 games for Marseille. Oh, people like the nationality game. Who else could I do? Chelsea. This should be easy. I'm setting myself up for some embarrassing stuff here. Chelsea. Jorgensen. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, you're so ignorant. I don't know. Jorgensen. I would say Danish. But could be Swedish. Could be Swedish. Jorgensen. I'll change my mind to Swedish. Jorgensen. Oh, I was right with Danish. You should go with your first choice. He was Danish. Oh. Nordcap says he actually is half Swedish. I don't know. 2-0 to Chelsea, to Newcastle. Second goal scored by Anthony Gordon, English Anthony Gordon. I could educate myself by every goal announcing the nationality of the player. Atalanta have scored. They're 1-0 up against Atletico Bilbao. Now, this is interesting because Atalanta are already in the top 8. They're having an amazing time in the Champions League. They're already top 8, Atalanta. Scamacca with the goal, definitely Italian. And the interesting thing about Atalanta is that they are already in the top 8 and their final game is away to Union Saint-Gilles. So there's a very high chance that Atalanta will take one of the top 8 spaces in the Champions League. They're winning now, and then next week they're away to Union Saint-Gilles. So it could be a dream for Atalanta as they avoid the playoffs and go straight into the knockout phase. 1-0 up against Athletic Bilbao. Very good. What nationality are the Fletcher twins, says Yellow Bathing Suit? I would say they're English, even though their dad's Scottish. I don't know. Kirkes is Hungarian. Easy. Absolutely easy. Ah, Devon says Jorgensen is actually half Danish and half Swedish. That was a total guess. When I said Danish and changed my mind to Swedish, it wasn't based on knowledge. Do the nationality of the French team, says Andy. Well, I'm not going to have a bloody clue. On a scale of 1 to 10, how happy will Ricky be if Bruno leaves United? Oh, 10 on 10. Jay, he'll be doing that dance again. He'll be going... Well, it'll be shaking like Shaking Stevens. What was the nationality of one of the greatest footballers in the world according to the cast of the early 2000s Neighbours? What? Milan Jovanovic. What's that got to do with Neighbours, Dave? I mean, if you want to ask me questions, get your super chats in or I'll read them in the chat on nationalities. I'll have a go. It's turned into that type of show. I would say Jovanovic was Croatian. To be honest, when it comes to Croatia, Serbia, who else is there? Bosnia. I feel like there's another country. Slovenia, Slovakia. I can't. I can't. It's very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. Anyway, let me do the Chelsea team. So Jorgensen was a tough start, to be fair. Look, oh God, I was looking at Paphos. Gusto is got to be French. Got to be French. Good cross into the box. It's gone out, though, for a goal kick. Gusto's got to be French. Fofana is French. Badashil, I think, is also French. And Hato, I feel, well, he was at Ajax, so I think he might be Dutch. So, I mean, some of those I don't necessarily know the answer to. But I can't see anyone in the chat telling me I'm wrong. Still 0-0 here. Since United back-to-back for Madueke for 65 million plus 10. That doesn't make any sense, Rajaf. Juan says, I'm surprised with Marseille. They seem very energetic. Well, they need to win. They've got a tough away game next week. And if they lose both this game and next week, they could drop out of the Champions League altogether. What about Alphonso Davies? Easy, easy, easy. You won't catch me out with that. Canadian. I see, I am quite educated. Some things I don't know. Any update from Fabrizio on the Beckham, says Ian O'Connell. And Mark, I had to do an 8-mark question on Southgate being the nice man in sport. Thoughts? Oh, I just ripped the paper up and shit on it. If that was my exam question, it's worth 8 marks about, and you've got to write about how Gareth Southgate's the nicest man in football. I'd just take the piece of paper, wipe my arse with it, and say that's my answer. Now, give me 8 points. We have had an equaliser from Barcelona. It's Slavia Prague 1, Barcelona 1. And it's a lovely finish from Fermin Torres. So it's 1-1 there. Nobby Solano was Peruvian, Chesney. Reece James English. Caicedo. Ooh. I feel he's Ecuador, isn't he, Caicedo? Because Man United nearly bought him. Lovely ball into Ekatike. He doesn't get hold of it that time. And may have been offside. He was offside anyway. He's offside again. Yeah, offside again. Fermin Lopez, not Fermin Torres. It's Ferland Torres, isn't it? Sorry. Yeah, Ecuador for Caicedo. He's done it again. Not been beaten on a super chat nationality yet. Yeah, still 1-0 Atalanta, Atletico Bilbao, 1-1 Slavia Prague, Barcelona, and 2-0 to Newcastle against PSV Eindhoven. Chesney Hawk says Nabi Solano. Either or, Atalanta or Atlanta Falcons. Atalanta Zuta. Thank you. Martin Dahlin was Swedish. Lars. You see, that's what I mean. You're talking about my era. You're talking about the 90s. I won't get anything wrong from the 90s. King Kladze, Georgian. Oh, Salah's had a good touch there. Waits. Bad pass, but he's still going to get it back. Goes wide to Ekatike. Oh, no. Bad pass. Guess Leroy Sané's nationality. It's not German. If I'm guessing, I would say Ghana. I mean, he played for Germany, so... Well, he was born in Germany. So he's definitely... No, Songel, his father... He is the son of former German rhythmic gymnast and 1984 Summer Olympics bronze medalist Regina Weber, and a former footballer and Senegalese international Souleymane Sané. But he was actually born in Germany, so he would have dual nationality, I suppose. Let me finish this Chelsea team. Pedro Neto is Portuguese. Enzo Fernandez is Argentinian. Garnacho is in EastEnders and married to Frank Butcher. And Delap is English. There we go. Fulham's Anthony Robinson. I'll be impressed if you know this, says Vincent. We all know this. We all know this. It's USA, Anthony Robinson. He's had a bad season, Anthony Robinson, hasn't he? Because if you think about Kirkez at Liverpool, really good year last year with Bournemouth. Kirkez and Anthony Robinson were the two best left backs in the Premier League last year. And Robinson's he's had a lot of injuries this year. Wirtz loses it. Marseille on the break. You've got to go wide to Greenwood there, mate. Still there. Now go give it him. I mean, Deco was Portuguese. Played for Portugal, didn't he? But Brazilian by birth. Owen Hargreaves could have played for Canada, but played for England. Riyad Mahrez, Algerian. Shank. What nationality is Basuma? Liam Vernon. I don't know. Damari Gray. I don't know. Shola Amiobi. See, I'm getting caught out now. I don't know. Bergvall's Swedish from Spurs. Lowest signing in the Prem this year, Mark, in terms of impact, says Niall. Well, hold on. Marseille are on the attack. Højbjerg hits his own player. And now Liverpool are going to break. This is dangerous for Marseille. They've got overloads here. Wirtz uses Frimpong. Frimpong keeps it in. Can they keep the momentum going? Is he going to attack the box? Cross is good. And over the bar from Salah. Dwight York, easy. United player, isn't he? Trinidad. Sanderborg is Norwegian. I think Liverpool should be winning here. Although, look at Marseille. They've had way more possession, 57%, but they haven't had a shot on target yet, Liverpool. Ket Spire, was he the bold one who played for Newcastle? I feel like I should know that one. I do feel like I should know that one. I feel he might have been Georgian. Akatike's got loads of space here. Adogi plays for Italy, doesn't he? I think Adogi's Italian, Johans. Jemba, I'm pretty sure it was Cameroon. Giuseppe Rossi, obviously Italy. All right, well, was he United States? Cole Palmer, it's not England, says Pete. Why does he play for England then? Yossi Benayoun was Israeli. Popcorn. Played for Liverpool as well. Right, 5 minutes to go to half time. Have we had any other goals? No, it's still 1-1 with Slavia Prague and Barcelona. It's still 2-0 to Newcastle against PSV. It's going to be a good result for that Newcastle, and it's going to help the top 5 in England. And Atalanta's still winning 1-0. Oh, we've got a goal. Barcelona have just gone 2-1 up against Slavia Prague. Atalanta leading against Bilbao. Bayern are 0-0 with Union Saint-Gilles. Chelsea still 0-0 with Paphos. Juventus 0-0 with Benfica. That'd be a good result for Mourinho if he can get something in Turin. And obviously it's Marseille 0, Liverpool 0 here. Second goal for Barcelona has been scored by Furman again. He's on a hat-trick. Let's have a look at the lineup actually for Barcelona. Let's have a look who's playing. No Rashford. He's on the bench. Rooney on the right. Furman in behind Lewandowski with Rafinha. Pedri and De Jong in the midfield. I don't know where Yamal is. Maybe he's injured. Don't know. I don't watch La Liga. I don't know. But they've come from behind and they're winning 2-1. Dzeko. I feel like Dzeko played for Bosnia. What country legend is Beppe from? I feel it was. I think he was Portuguese. Nice ball out wide here. Marseille up against Frimpong. Not a great cross. Gomez heads it away. And it's tell you what, it's been a good game this. It hasn't had the goals of Arsenal-Inter, but it has been very open and end-to-end. It's a lovely ball by, I think it was Wirtz into Frimpong. And look at him motor here. He's going to get up. If he puts the cross in, they're queuing up. It's a bad cross. Kirkes has it. He wants a handball. I think. So what, Wirtz has done all right. It's not Wirtz. Yeah, Wirtz. It's done all right. I think Liverpool have had enough opportunities on the break to score. I think Greenwood will end up in Germany and Damari Gray is Jamaican, says Midri. Thank you very much for your super chat. A bit of a delay here. Don't know what they're waiting for. Free kick on Gravenberg. Edge of the box. Do you remember that player that played for Marseille and they reckon he's the best free kick taker ever? Janino. I never really saw any of his career at all, you know. And they reckon he's the best free kick taker we've ever had. And I just never saw... Lyon. Played for Lyon, sorry. I never really saw any of him. I don't know why. No, not the one who played for Middlesbrough. That's a different Janino. Are they going to check the handball for the penalty? Well, I'm just sort of waiting to see that because Kirkes was convinced there should have been. Here it is. Nah. Goes off his shoulder. No, it's not handball. Play on. Play on. Kevin DeBay at Tottenham, don't know. Alex says, what about Pulisic? Definitely Australian. Ronnie Rosenthal, I think he was Israeli as well. Let's see what happens with this free kick. Light Through Chaos says there's been an equaliser for Slavia Prague. I'll check that in a minute. I'll check it now. They're not going to take this free kick. There has been an equaliser for Slavia Prague in Prague. It's Lewandowski. Own goal, I think. Yeah, it is an own goal. Lewandowski heads the corner kick behind his own goalkeeper. The score is 2-2. Oh my God. Liverpool have scored. How have I got a delay on TNT? I know Liverpool have scored because it's just come up on my bloody screen. Szoboszlai. Well, there you go. There you go. I'm not on a streaming service. I'm on TNT. And I knew the goal went in 10 seconds before. That's annoying, that is. I wish I wasn't looking at what I was looking at there. A lovely, clever free kick. I think I'd need to see this again. Right on half-time. Player of the season for Liverpool, in my opinion. I haven't watched every single game this season, but when I have watched them, he's been Mr. Consistent. A very good signing for them. I think it's a good free kick. I think that's a very good free kick. He's definitely meant it. The wall's jumped, and he's just gone underneath it. Technically proficient. Look at that. Just goes low. Under the wall. Keeper can't get across. In time, 1-0. David says, I'm still waiting for the free kick to be taken. Pulisic is American, not Australian. Exposed, says Zuta. I said American, I didn't say Australian. Who was the better French player, Thierry Henry or Zinedine Zidane? Zidane, Yoon. Yeah. And that's half-time. So right on half-time, Liverpool lead in Marseille 1-0. And it's that man, Szoboszlai, who has got them the goal. And I'd say on the balance of play, Marseille more possession, but Liverpool been the better team. And they've had numerous breakaways where maybe they should have done a little bit better. I did say Australian, did I? I meant to say American. Sorry. It's been a long day. It's been a long day. Okay, thank you very much, everybody who's tuning in. So let's have a quick roundup of what's going on. Thanks, everyone who's tuning in. We're nearly at 10,000 live viewers, so please do share the video. Have you noticed as well how the games are better in the Champions League than the Premier League? It may have been said by other people, but I've really noticed it. The Champions League is better than the Premier League this year. The games are more open. I don't know why. I don't know why, but they're just better games to watch. Statistically, on average, I think you get a better game in the Champions League than you do in the Premier League at the moment. Answer me that. Answer me that if you can. I challenge thee. I challenge thee. But, yeah, Newcastle are cruising 2-0 up against Braveheart. Sorry, what? Against Braveheart? Against PSV. Where did that come from? Wow. Yeah. 2-0 to Newcastle against William Wallace and Braveheart. Yeah. Don't know where that came from, but apologies. There we go. They are beating PSV. They're not beating Mel Gibson and his merry group of people. And at half-time, Liverpool are leading here at Marseille, who I think have done all right. I think they've been okay. I suppose the big thing for Liverpool fans is as well, is it a little bit like Thomas Frank, where you, dare I say it, because Liverpool are their own, have their own way of supporting their team, but I think with Tottenham fans last night, beating Dortmund was great and all that, but if you'd lost, you probably would have sacked Thomas Frank. And I've certainly noticed it doing the United stand over the years. It does get to a point with some fans where they almost know, like when Ten Hag got the sack against West Ham, I think some people were of the opinion that they would like to lose to West Ham because it would be the end of Ten Hag. Personally, I don't do that, but I think with Liverpool, if Slot turns this around, you ain't going to get Alonso, are you? And I don't know. I don't know what Liverpool fans think. Let me know. But I think with Thomas Frank, there would be definitely people last night who would go, if we'd lost him, he was gone. So Boslite, aura is immaculate, says Rajaf. Haties at Liverpool. Thank you very much for your super chat. Pahars, Joel Campbell, Gary Medel, and Winston Reid. I feel like I should know this one. I want to say Chile, but it's not. I know this one. Is it like Dominican Republic or something like that? I feel like I should know this one. Robert McCormack. Gary Medel, Winston Reid, Joel Campbell, Pahars. I'm going to kick myself. Paraguay. Someone just said Paraguay. I don't know. I don't think it... Costa Rica, it could be that. Costa Rica, it could be that. What did I say? Dominican Republic. I don't think that's right. Oh, they don't all play for the same one. Oh, Robert. I thought they all played for the same country. You can't do them. You can't do loads of different separate ones. Thank you very much, Robert. Ajax wanting Ugarte on loan. He's our top target, says the UK. We can't do it. We can't do it. I just don't think De Zerbi is good enough coach for United. I don't think his playing style is appealing, says Andre Gomez. Everyone is wrong. Pulisic is Croatian, says Alex. Are the Bills overrated, says Isaac. Oh, don't talk to me about that. I enjoy watching the playoffs in the NFL, but it's horrible when you actually like a team. I'd rather just watch it and not have a team anymore because the Bills just let me down every year. They should have won that game. They should have won that game. Yeah, all those Robert McCormack ones are just different nationalities. Kevin Danzo says, Max. I feel like he's Austrian. I think he plays for Ranić. Jason Wilcox says, nationality of Climax, Lawrence. Eden Dzeko says, Dylan. United, legend, Pepe. Done that one as well. Thank you very much. They fired their coach. Yes, Swindon. I don't know. I don't know where they'll go next. Will Bayern go invincible in their league, says Rays. Have they ever done it before? Have Bayern Munich ever done it before in the Bundesliga? I know they win it a lot. Have they ever done an invincible year? I mean, I don't necessarily think they will. I mean, they've drawn a couple of games, haven't they? Is there any players like Zidane? I think he made football so easy and was so relaxed. We don't make play. I mean, look, I said to you then, like, the last couple of nights of the Champions League are on a different level to the Premier League. I don't know why that is. The Premier League has a bit of a problem this year. It's a bit boring. But we don't make players like Zidane anymore. You know, Zidane, you know, you've got to be born with the talent. But the talent's got to be allowed to be nurtured. We don't create those players anymore. I think it gets coached out of them, really. Drake May is the NFL Yamal. Go Patriots, says Pete. I'm hoping to see a Rams Patriot final so we get the two best quarterbacks going against each other. Vlad says, could we do a Szoboszlai versus Bruno Fernandes poll this season? Well, you've done a super chat, Vlad. It's not a bad idea. I'm going to set it up for you now. So this season, I don't even need to put either or. This season, Bruno or Szoboszlai, who I will completely spell his name wrong. But you'll get the gist. There we go. Yeah, I mean, look, we don't create players like Zidane anymore. We don't create players like Gascoigne anymore. We don't create players like Roy Keane anymore. We don't create players like Steven Gerrard anymore. I think there's a multitude of reasons for that. Football's become too analytical. At a young age, players are having their natural ability coached out of them. On top of that, young players lose jeopardy and hunger because they're in academies at like 8 years of age, and you know they're getting lots of money at 15. So the hunger goes a little bit. Yeah. Super Bowl watch along. Yes, Asif, 2 weeks on Sunday night. Don't forget, every Friday night we've got live Bundesliga action on the channel as well. Connor says, poll question is disrespectful, Mark. Salah is only behind Henry when it comes to this league. Yeah, well, 80% said that Steven Gerrard definitely dyes his hair. Oh, my God, Steven. You look like McGran. What's he done? This is why I'll never dye my hair. You can go to... I think even Joe Hart might have a little bit in his as well. Men shouldn't dye their hair. I think it's really obvious when men dye their hair. Just go grey gracefully. There's nothing wrong with it. People like a silver fox. That colour in Gerrard's hair, it's like something my gran used to have, rest in peace. Don't dye your hair if you're a man. It's too obvious. I think it's too obvious. Women, fine. Men, don't dye your hair. Unless you've got dark hair and you start to see a few grey and you just go, I'm going to touch it up a little bit. Joe Hart's actually had a transplant as well. Oh, he's died a transplant. Oh, my God. It's not sexist, Mo. it's not sexist at all. I think women dyeing their hair is a good thing because they do it from a very young age. Like, I know I've had girlfriends and wives who goes to the hairdressers and has a dye as part of the cut. But men dyeing their hair. So, Szoboszlai is ahead of Bruno at the moment. This is a good poll. A very good poll. I've only had one wife. That I know. No, I have definitely not. It's a Liverpool game, so most people are going to vote. No, I don't know. It's quite close. And we do get quite a range here as well. Kev dyes his hair, Mark. I don't think he does. I think Szoboszlai's had a better season than Bruno. I wouldn't swap Bruno for Szoboszlai in a million years, but I think across the season, I think Szoboszlai... Well, no, actually, I'll take that back. I was just thinking Liverpool haven't had a good season either, have they? I'm just saying, Man United haven't had a very good season, and Bruno played most of it in the midfield. And as much as he's got some goals and assists, I think he's had a lot of bad games. I would say, we're talking about this season, it's probably quite a good poll, actually. Yeah, fair play. But I think Szoboszlai is definitely Liverpool's player of the season from what I've seen. Is Bruno Man United's player of the season? Look, he's only been playing as a number 10 for 2 weeks. Every other game he played in the midfield and people were pulling their... Look, we do player ratings on the United stand. You can't flip the past. He was playing in the midfield up until 2 weeks ago, and on our player ratings, he was very rarely getting a 6, which is an average. So, yes, he's had a few goals and assists in the midfield, but a lot of United fans didn't like him in the midfield. If he'd been in number 10 all season, it's different. Jimmy White recommended the hair clinic to Joe, says Kenneth. Hey, I ain't got a problem with that. Terry on the Football Terrace did it, didn't he? I'm just really hoping he told everybody he did it, and I haven't let that out. If I was going bold, I would get a rug. I'd do a Rooney or whatever. I don't mind. The technology's a lot better now. But then again, I think some people look good with bold hair. Bold. Some people look good bold. Mark, when Qatar entered, you stayed clear-headed. As an Arab, it hurts to say Arab racism cost us. We should have only sold to Qatar, says Zaid. Thank you very much. Would you ever consider a more youthful hair dye, says Evan Whelan. I mean, if I dyed my hair now, everyone's going to know about it. Everyone's going to know about it. It's like if somebody, you know, has a receding hairline and then suddenly it's forward, everyone knows about it. Also, my hair, we've got pictures of me like 15 years ago with hair the colour of what it is on the top, and everyone says you look better with it now, and I think they're right. I don't think a solid brown hair suited me. Did you fall out with Fozcast, says Kelsey? Yeah, I basically, Ben Foster sent me quite an offensive Instagram DM about my facial hair. So I waited for him to go on a bike ride on his Instagram because he always puts on a story. And I drove down to Leamington and I found where he was and I shunted him off the road. And I said, have that on your bike, you crap Van der Sar wannabe. And we left it at that. He was all right because he was on Instagram later doing some cooking, but yeah. I drove off fast because he's bigger than me. Would you ever consider a more youthful hair dye? I've done that one from Evan as well. No, I haven't fallen out with the Fozcast. I just had to stop doing it, like my own podcast, on sheer bandwidth. Sometimes you have to say no to things that you would like to do. What are they doing in the Australian Open? That looks like it's an indoor arena. Players coming out for the second half. Thanks for all your super chats tonight. Enjoying the show again. We've had 2 really good nights of Champions League football. Please do subscribe to That's Football as well. Get involved with the channel. Everybody is welcome here. Doesn't matter who you support. We used to say no Man City fans, but actually you're playing all right this year. You're being humble. You're playing good football and you get beat by United and Bodo Glimt. So you're a real one this year. So you're allowed in if you're a Man City fan. Talking about Man City, I know a couple of Man City fans, and there has been a bit of rumour that he might not see the end of the week, Pep. I've had no information on this. I haven't even tried to get any information on it. I mean, I think he's gone at the end of the season. I mean, I can't be bothered because I said this time last year I thought Pep would go last summer, and I was wrong. But I do genuinely think he was close to going in the summer. I just don't think Man City had a replacement. But I think they've got a replacement now, so I think he will go. I think Pep did a Bruno and said, I'll stay another year, but you've got to sort out the club. And I think that's it. What do you think of Romano? People say he ruins transfers, says Tees. I mean, I'm old school. Like, Romano's like nostalgia to me. We used to have him on the United stand a lot. You know, it's amazing the following he's acquired from being a journalist of transfers. But it's like anything, isn't it? You're the hero, and at some point you become the villain. It's always the way. I think wrestling's very true to life. You know, you have people get tired of the hero, so you turn heel. And I'm not saying that, you know, Romano's now evil. I just think people, you know, people start to criticise, don't they? Love the show. How often do you get Botox, says Darman. I've never had any Botox. I don't even know what it does. Is that the one that makes you look like an action man? Or is that just plastic surgery? It's hard to stay on top, says Dougie. My wife said to me in the pub about 3 years ago, I've told the story before. She said, what are you going to do when you fall off? I went, what are you talking about? You're meant to be bigging me up. She said, everybody falls off. What's your plan? She says, because you're such a narcissist, it will really hurt you. I've added that bit in for comedic effect. But it's true. It's absolutely true. Everybody falls off. Very few people do a Sir Alex Ferguson. I saw somebody today saying, well, look at all these ex-players of United talking about the club in a bad way, but they've all failed as a coach. And I thought, well, it's a fair point, but then most coaches fail. Wenger got sacked. Mourinho's been sacked. Very few people get to walk out the front door to applause. Unless you die on the job. Shot from distance. That was Højbjerg. Yeah, wide. Would you fight the Big Show, Mark, says Dylan. Bloody big lad, isn't he? He's a big lad. Klopp did go out on his own terms, honest. You know what it is? It's knowing when to go, isn't it? I mean, even with Klopp, did he go at the right time? Liverpool won the league the next year. But if you can't give any more and you need a break, you've got to look after yourself. I think you've got to put your health first. I was saying this to Terry, like last year, in October last year, I don't get chest infections or anything like that. For about 3 weeks, I had this really bad cough. And then for 2 weeks after, I was wiped out. I think it was that COVID. You know, that COVID. There was a strain of it. And I was saying to Terry, like, we were doing a show together, and I said, that really bothered me, that. And he was like, why? I said, because it was just like I couldn't get on top of it. And, you know, all the work and all the graft means nothing if you get hit by your health. So I respect Klopp, because I think I reckon that was a health thing. I think it was getting on top of him. But, you know, it's knowing when to go. Ekatike, lovely feet. This should be 2. Why did he take a touch? Why doesn't Wirtz just shoot? I'll tell you what the problem with Wirtz is, right? I've figured it out. He takes too many touches. He's going to struggle to adjust to the Premier League. I bet in the Bundesliga, you get time to... Well, you do. In the Bundesliga, I think you get more time. If he's going to be a top Premier League player, he takes a touch too much in the box. You've got to go with your first touch there. Very good technical player, but he's got to switch his brain on a bit quicker and go, that pass from Ekitike, I've got to hit it first time. And he takes a touch. It's on a plate. Take the fucking shot, you know? And that's Wirtz's biggest problem. Very good player, very technically good, but he wants to take an extra touch too often, and that's going to hurt him in the Prem. Who will be Man City's next manager, Maresca or Company, says Gary? I mean, I think Vincent Company would be a very good choice for Man City because he's used to dominating with an open checkbook and at Bayern. So, and he's done the hard yards at Burnley. Maresca, I'd be more worried about Vincent Company at Man City than I would be Maresca. I don't rate Maresca. But I don't know whether you'll get Vincent Company out of Bayern in the summer. You probably would. Where does Amorim go? I've heard Benfica after Mourinho, but Mourinho's there. Is Mourinho on a short-term deal? I don't know. Ryan says Bruno will never be a Man United legend because he walks like a duck. Well, Bruno's beating Szoboszlai here. We've got a very good poll on. This season, Bruno or Szoboszlai. It's close. It's 51% Bruno and it's 49% Szoboszlai. Evan Whelan says, do you think Seb will take over with you when you pack it in? I hope not. I hope not. Barca have scored. I can expand on that if people want me to. No, they haven't. Barca haven't scored. It's 2-2. No other goals so far. I wouldn't want Seb to take over me because my pathway of doing this was my pathway. And I don't know that... I think it would have to be a unique set of circumstances for him to want to go into this. And remember, I started doing this in my 30s. I would not want him to be doing it when he's like 21, 22. I'm really grateful that I didn't come into this like public social media world until I'd had a bit of experience of other things in life. I have huge respect for the Sidemen and Angry Ginge and people like that who do this from like basically being teenagers. It's his choice, Kevo, definitely, but I would hope he doesn't do it. Oh, Mason Greenwood. I tell you what, if that goes in, that's a massive moment. Sends Wirtz to the chip shop and then a decent shot from distance on his right foot. I mean, Alisson's got it all the way, to be fair. Good goalkeeping, but good play by Mason Greenwood. Good play. We've got a goal for Juve against Mourinho's Benfica. And we've also got a goal for Kane against Bayern. Sorry, for Bayern. Thuram has scored for Juve against Benfica. And we've got a goal just wide from Marseille from Greenwood again. He's turning up the heat here. And it was Kane against Union Saint-Gilles. It's Harry Kane. Kane. I'm Harry Kane. Your confidence is inspiring to me. But I will soon have my way with you, and you will remember the name of Harry Kane. Bane. I'm Harry Bane. I tell you what, Marseille have started to have a go here. Good. Pump up the volume, pump up the volume, pump up the volume. Benfica are losing 1-0 here, and they are third in the league, 10 points adrift of... Here's an interesting stat for you about Benfica. They haven't lost a game in the Portuguese league this season, but they're 10 points off the top because they've drawn 6. Porto have only drawn 1 game all season, which was against Benfica, and they've won 17. They're having a bloody nosebleed, Porto. He's the next hipster manager, isn't he? I can't remember his name. I think it begins with an F. Dougie Yun says, do you think Mason Greenwood will ever return to the Premier League? I think he will. I just don't think he'll go to a traditional top 6 club. I don't think they'll want the noise. But I don't know. Maybe an Aston Villa, maybe a Crystal Palace, someone like that. And he should be allowed to come back to the Premier League, by the way. Like, ultimately, I agree with what Man United did at the time. And I don't think United would go back there. Good tackle. Sup, boss? Are you more excited or nervous for the United game this weekend? I mean, I'm going to start previewing it tomorrow because obviously I've got Premier League predictions with Robbie on Friday morning. I've got my preview tomorrow night for the Arsenal game at 8 o'clock. You can tune into that on the United Stand. But I'm starting to feel confident, you know. I am. I've seen Arsenal a lot, and whilst they are good, they're not normally the team that puts you away 3 or 4-0. And I fancy us to score, so I'm sort of stuck at the moment between whether we're going to win or draw. Is it just me, Mark, or has this been a really boring season? Maybe because United aren't in Europe, is angling for more. I think the Premier League's been generally boring. I think you get better games in Europe. I said that at half-time. Max says, Elise would have 15 assists without Kane, overrated. 15 less assists without Kane, overrated. I don't think Elise is overrated, Max. Esteval's best player on the pitch again, mental, says Max. And yet, they're not winning, Chelsea, 0-0 against Pavos. Atletico Bilbao have equalised against Atalanta. That's a big goal because Atalanta were in the top 8. I think they still are. Be a great achievement for them if they can actually finish in the top 8 and take one of those spots that means you don't play in the playoffs. In Serie A at the moment, Atalanta as well are in 7th place. They're not having a great season in Italy. Como are doing very well, aren't they? 6th. Nice to see Parma back in the Italian league. I don't know how long they've been back, but old school. Fiorentina. What do you think about when I say Fiorentina? I think Rui Costa, Batistuta. Parma, I think of Crespo. Was it no, not Crespo? Fernando Couto, maybe. Asprilla. I think Brolin played for them as well. Corner to Liverpool. Headed away. Thuram at Parma as well. Good shout. Nice ball into Alexi McAllister. Liverpool have looked a lot sharper tonight. Hopefully all English teams go through in Europe so they don't drop points in the Prem. We can get 3rd or even 2nd. I'm telling you, Mark, says Senor. Thank you. Marseille having a go here. They need to have a go. Mark, even though Serie A isn't as strong as it's still competitive. 5 or 6 teams can win it, says Luke. I agree. The Serie A is quite a slow league compared to the other top European leagues. But for the last 4 or 5 years, their actual league has been very interesting. I used to watch it a lot. I used to watch the highlights every week. And then after COVID, I just stopped. Also, I find I think like 10 years ago, you could find a good weekly Spanish league review show, Italian league review show, German league review show, all in the same place. I think it was like Sky or BT or whatever. Nowadays, it's actually, I don't even know if they do a weekly Italian review show anymore. I know, Ekatike, what? Oh, it's hit the post. What a shot that was. It would have gone in the top corner. I thought he had. You want a weekly half-an-hour show that just gives you all the goals and a bit of conversation. Lovely. But oh, they're in here. Greenwood up against Van Dijk. Lovely ball. Oh, he's put it over the bar. He's panicked. He's shit the bed. Let's get real. He's shit the bed there. It's a lovely breakaway from Marseille. Van Dijk's got to cover off Greenwood. Greenwood plays a lovely ball with the right foot, and he could take a touch there. Why doesn't he take a touch? He should control that. Gravenberch is out of the game. Terrible. Ekatike should have scored as well. Nick says, I think Marseille will get the equaliser. It's an end-to-end game. It's been a really good game. Mark, even though Serie A isn't as strong, it's still competitive. 5 to 6 teams can win it every year. Great. I've done that one from Luke. Thank you. But yeah, like I said, there's not Ekatike. It's end-to-end. Really good game, this. Really good game. Again, second night in a row we've had a really good game. It's putting the Premier League to fucking shame, isn't it? Inter Arsenal and Marseille Liverpool has been an end-to-end game. And in the Prem, we get nothing like this. Look how open it is. Look how much space there is. And look how everybody's playing well. I don't know why things get worse in 2026. But people mess about with things, don't they? You used to be able to easily watch a well-produced weekly review show of every top league. And now I wouldn't even know where to find it. I think Premier Sports has got Italian football in the UK, but I don't know whether they do a weekly highlights show, and I'm not bloody paying for it. So you just don't watch it. What's the chances of doing a That's Football rundown of the other leagues on a Monday, says nobody that matters. I'd say you're always dictated to by demand, and I don't think there's much of a demand for that. Go on that dad podcast, says Liam. Don't even know what it is. Will we ever make it, says you. Would you take De Zerbi at United, says Larshan. Said it on the United stand this morning. For me, it's a no. It's a no. I wasn't massively impressed with him at Brighton, and I think, look, if you bring someone like De Zerbi to Liverpool or Man United or Chelsea, you're never going to win the Premier League, are you? So why are you bringing him? What did you have for tea? I had cauliflower gnocchi, which you can get from, I think, Sainsbury's. Very nice. And then I had like a tomato, aubergine, homemade sauce with it, and then some salad. They're in again. Look at Wirtz. Too many touches again. I figured Wirtz out. He takes too many touches. When will you upload Cooking with Goldbridge, says TM? I'm hoping this week. Hopefully tomorrow. Somebody just said Goldbridge should do a fashion show because he's always dressed dapper. I don't know about that. I think I have my own style, and it's not, I wouldn't say it's cutting edge fashion. That corner's overhit. Oh, here we go. Polar bears again, says Liam. I couldn't take 10 polar bears in a fight. Polar bears are probably the worst thing you want to be within 100 metres of. Because they're quicker than you and they will hunt you down. Aubameyang's coming on. Obama who? No, I'm not doing that. I never liked it at the time. Barcelona 3-2. 3-2 Barcelona. And Juventus are 2-0 up on Benfica. So Mourinho's heading out of the Champions League. It's McKennie who scored to make it 2-0. And Barcelona are in front as well. 3-2. And it's a goal for Dani Olmo. Important goal for Barcelona. Bayern have had a man sent off, by the way. Kim Min-jae. Kane's got 2. He scored a penalty, but Kim Min-jae is gone. Should still be all right, Bayern, but down to 10 men. Newcastle still leading 2-0 against PSV. Did all the work in the half-time. I haven't had a stand-up, have I? Just realised I've been sat down for bloody ages. You got to stretch, bro. Okay. Every woman, every man, join the caravan. I've got my tracksuit bottoms on today. Not really a fashion guru. The shirt's all right, but I've gone with comfort down below. Would you like Manchester United to have 6 European titles like Liverpool? Would you like? Well, I don't know what we're trying to achieve with comments like that, if I'm being completely honest, because the cold, harsh fact is Liverpool have won more European Cups than Manchester United, but Manchester United have won more European Cups than anybody else, apart from Liverpool, and we've won a lot of Premier Leagues as well. So, and also, contextually, in my lifetime, Man United have won shitloads more Premier Leagues than Liverpool as well. So, I mean, it depends how focused you are on history. My history is my life. And in my life, we've won way more league titles than you. So would I swap the multiple league titles I've seen Man United win over Liverpool for your European Cup success, which, to be fair, you've won a lot of in my life because you've won some in the 80s. I wouldn't swap Man United's history for Liverpool's history. Let's put it up that way. And I take on board that Liverpool have a very good history, and you've got a very good history in the Champions League and European Cup. But I wouldn't swap our history. It's what makes us who we are, and Liverpool fans wouldn't swap theirs either. Newcastle are 3-0 up. Because remember, our history isn't just about winning things. Manchester United's history is massively about what happened in 1958 in Munich. And Liverpool's history is massively about what happened in Sheffield in 1989 in Hillsborough as well. So I wouldn't... Two clubs with very different paths that are intrinsically linked into success and tragedy. It's probably why we're rivals, because we're not similar, but in many ways we are. I love you, Mark, but no offence, your fashion sense is horrible, says Zuta. Whoever recommended that needs to be banned from this channel. Thank you, mate. Zaid says, I just got engaged, wedding in the summer, any advice? Yeah. Run, mate. Run, Forrest, run. No, as long as it's the right person, you're making the right choice. Good luck. If it's the wrong person, don't do it. Cookie Gamer says, I reckon you would beat a penguin in a fight, Mark. It's got no arms. I mean, I wouldn't want to do this. I'm answering a super chat, but I just think you'd kick the shit out of a penguin. Even an emperor penguin. Oh, you're just still a big one. Marseille on the attack. And again, it's going to go for a corner. Oh, no. Alisson's kept it in. Yeah, I don't think a penguin's going to do much. They're just big fat birds with no arms. What are they going to do? Waddle after you? Nah. I tell you what, I wouldn't hit a penguin. I mean, I wouldn't hit a penguin anyway. It's animal cruelty, but even if it was a hypothetical fight, I wouldn't do it. I like penguins. Ekatike. They don't strike me as bad animals. Like a hyena, they just strike me as knobheads, you know? I think there are some animals in the animal kingdom that are wankers, but I don't think a penguin would be. Irish Peacock says they won't be called happy feet when I'm done with them. I'll tell you what, Marseille, Liverpool need this second goal because it doesn't feel like Marseille won't score. Kangaroos are up themselves, Mo. I've seen clips of kangaroos that give it the big un. You've seen that guy who ends up in a boxing match with the kangaroo because it's attacking his dogs. Basically, it's attacking his dogs, so he goes over to try and scare it off, and it squares up to the guy like this, and then he ends up whacking it on the chin, and the kangaroo goes, "Okay, I've overstepped the mark," and legs it. Ekatike cross, Salah misses. He's surely offside anyway. It's a big miss if he's not. It's on a plate from Ekatike. Let's have a look. Cross comes in now. Yeah, he's offside, yeah. He's offside. Chelsea's had 13 corners and not scored. I mean, I think that's a problem for Chelsea, isn't it? Atletico Bilbao are beating Atalanta 3-1 now. It's all going on. And Barcelona have got a fourth goal too. That's a bad night for Atalanta. They were doing so well. 4-2 Barcelona. Fourth goal scored by Robert Lewandowski. He's scored a few in his time, hasn't he? And he scored again tonight. 4-2, game over there. Barcelona lead 4-2. It's not over here. Ekatike being a bit greedy, should have passed, but he's got it back. Will he pass this time? Yes, into Wirtz. McAllister, he might shoot. He's going to go wide to Frimpong. Will he use Szoboszlai or will he take him on? He's going to take him on. He's quick. He's through. And it's a goal, and it's all from Frimpong. He did well. I'll tell you what, that pace over that, I mean, that's Frimpong in his Leverkusen days, that is. That's what Frimpong can do. That pace over a couple of yards to knock it past the defender and get there. A tremendous low centre of gravity as well, so he's hard to knock down or knock off the ball. But watch what he does here, Frimpong. Squares up the defender. And then, look, over 2 yards, I'm going to knock this past you. And I'm going to do you for pace. And then, a little bit deflection from the cross. But game over. That'll be an own goal, by the way, because he wasn't even shooting. He was actually trying to cut it back towards Salah. And went in off the Marseille defender. But good play by Frimpong. I mean, look, the thing about Frimpong as well is I thought he was a fantastic signing for Liverpool and I was very jealous. I just think he's had a bit of an injury, took his time to settle in, but could become a very good player for Liverpool. Niall says, I hope you're well, mate. I wouldn't hit a penguin, but if I had to sweet chin music, that's all I'm saying. Oh, I'll tell you what, I'd love to sweet chin music something. Top 3 things I'd like to sweet chin music. Well, there's a few people, but I won't do that. A polar bear, definitely. I'd actually quite like to do it to a lion. You better put it to sleep. I like lions, but it'd be a respect thing. I am the king of the desert. and probably a squirrel. No, a pigeon. I hate pigeons. Rats with wings. I actually do hate pigeons. They're noisy gits. They make an annoying noise in the summer, and there must be a tree. Well, there is a tree outside my house, and they go there at about 5 o'clock in the morning. And they start going ooh ooh ooh, and I'm like, what about Gary Neville? Says Zana. I said I'm not naming people. I'm not naming humans. Liverpool are playing with confidence now with 15 minutes to go. The Glazers, yeah. Sabozlai in the box. I said 3-1, didn't I? I mean, I don't know whether Marseille can get a goal, but Liverpool certainly look like might get 3. James said, would you swim in the middle of the ocean with 10 hungry great whites or one night with the mother-in-law? Oh, mate, well, I'm not answering that, but... Like, it's a death sentence, isn't it? One night with the mother-in-law. I'd sweet chin music the Glazers, says Dominic. Chelsea have finally broken the deadlock, apparently. No, they have. It's 1-0 to Chelsea against Pavos. And it's Caicedo, the guy, who's done it. They needed that. Very big game for Chelsea. They do want to be in the Champions League. And they want to try and get in the top 8 as well. So, very big goal for them. Callum says, Callum the Dragon, hope all is good, Mark. Enjoying all the streams you do. I don't know whether that's the real one, but if it is, nice to hear from you, mate. Hope you're doing well. Legend of the Goldbridge first Sidemen charity game. I managed 2, didn't I? That was my better one. That was where Goldbridge Ball was good. Yeah, how many years ago was that now? Mark Ash says he hates pigeons as well. Look how they walk around like they can't be touched. Well, I tell you what, I'm not saying this was satisfying, but in the UK, we get these birds called sparrowhawks. They're not like an eagle, but they are vicious. But they're quite small. And there was a couple of pigeons in our back garden a couple of years ago. And out of nowhere, this sparrowhawk came down and, well... It was a bloodbath. I had to turn away. And I don't like pigeons, but I had to turn away. I was like, that's horrible. But as I said, that's nature. Hashtag deal with it. I was telling my mate down the pub and he said, why didn't you run out and help it? I said, we're not watching bloody Wildlife on 1 now. You know when on Wildlife on 1 with Attenborough and he'll go, the poor little goat is being devoured by the lion. As sad as it is, it's just the circle of life. And people go, why did they let it happen? Why didn't the cameraman walk over and stop the lion from attacking the goat? Because the cameraman would have been dead and then no one could have filmed it. Nature is brutal, says Sam. Exactly. As if I'm going to run out in my back garden and save a pigeon. Come on. Nature is scary, though. It is. Stop, Mark. The RSPCA will be emailing you again. Look, I don't have a pet sparrowhawk. I tell you what, though. I tell you what. If I knew that, if that sparrowhawk could talk, I definitely would pay it £100 a month between the months of April and September to patrol my garden from pigeons between the hours of 4 o'clock in the morning and 8 o'clock. That's got to be more than minimum wage. It's a shame you can't do that. I would love to rent a sparrowhawk to just fly around my garden for 4 hours every morning in the summer and stop the twatty pigeons going. Whir, whir, whir. I would absolutely pay that. I hate paying for some things, but I would pay for that. It would make me get better sleep and my mental health would go up. Surely they can invent an app where, I mean, look, the sparrowhawk could probably be quite happy as well because it wouldn't have to just live in a bunch of straw. It could probably get a nice birdhouse, you know. Take the kids on holiday every now and again. Shot from distance again from Marseille. Jules says, I'll do it for £50 a month. Yeah, but you'd probably sit in my garden with a shotgun, firing off shots. You can't do that. When will Wanyeri play, says Mac? Well, not tonight, but I think he can play from the weekend. Ekateke and Wirtz are coming off for Liverpool here. Liverpool got a difficult game at the weekend. Bournemouth are having a bit of a glow-up. And they've got to get ready for that on Saturday now. We'll be live. We'll be doing a watch-along of that on Saturday at 5:30. Gakpo and Curtis Jones coming on. Ow. I think Liverpool might kick on, but then I was very surprised that they drew to Burnley, but maybe that was just a bit of a blip. Rashford got an assist, says Iron. Kane has missed a penalty for a hat-trick. Is Mason Greenwood. I mean, look, my review of Mason Greenwood is he still looks like a decent player. I mean, whether he's the player he was going to be at Man United, absolutely not. But there's reasons for that. But he still looks a decent player. Five English teams in the top 6 at the moment, Mark, says the Bake. Well, that's good for our coefficient score. Greenwood's got it here. On his left foot, he might get a shot. Oh, unlucky. He's had a good game. He's been quite creative. In Arizona, they pay people to hunt pigeons, says Touge fan. Thank you very much. Does the Sparrowhawk get a 401k, says T-Ham. Evan Whelan says, I'll do it for 100 a day and I'll make the noises. Actually, if you want to get, I'll give you a little bit of a free tip here. If you've got pigeons in your garden that are annoying, this works really well. You go in your back garden and you've got to do a really loud clap like this. No, that's not a good one. That one. The one where you really whack skin on skin. Don't do that. You've got to go. They think it's a shotgun and they all fuck off. And I feel quite happy then. They all fly off going, oh no, we're going to get shot. And I think, yeah, you fall for it every time, you thick twats. I'm just clapping my hands. You really aren't, you're not that clever, are you? When I was about 15, I was in Nottingham. I'd gone in on a Saturday afternoon and I used to get the bus home from the bus station at Broadmarsh Station. And the buses used to come in the station and park up at different places depending on where you were going. And there was this pigeon walking along the road. A bus came round and the wheel perfectly went right in the middle of the pigeon. And it was like instant flatification. It literally flat. It was a big bus. It just literally was there. And then you saw the bus go and it was just like this flat. It was like a pancake. It wasn't even that much mess. Maybe it was the heat of the rubber. It was just like... What about magpies? They're worse. I don't really see a lot of magpies around my area, Kenneth. I've got to be honest. Don't really see them. Corey says, my review of Greenwood, he should be in jail. Thank you, Corey. They make their noises in the summer because they are mating, says Gaming. I know. That makes it even worse. Don't tell me that. Oh, now getting woken up at 4 o'clock in the morning because a couple of pigeons are having a shag. Great. Play him in. Salah. Wow, what a miss. Should have scored. Mark, to you, who was the most annoying and better challenger to Sir Alex United? Jose's, Chelsea or Wenger? That was the era. The Arsenal era was the best. Look, Chelsea were good, but it was definitely the Arsenal era. Rays, yeah. 5 English teams in the top 8, but not City, says Saya. That is quite interesting. I should have a look. So, as things stand, I'm looking at the Premier League. They'll all be English. In In the Champions League, as things stand, you've got Arsenal in top with 21. You got Bayern second with 18. Real Madrid third with 15. Then Liverpool on 15 as well. Tottenham on 14. PSG on 13. Newcastle on 13. And Chelsea on 13. Barcelona in 9th. Sporting as well on 13. Man City are on 13. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 teams on 13, but only 3 of them are in the top 8. So next week's going to be very interesting. Bayern and Arsenal, the only definite 2 teams that will finish in the top 8. But PSG are playing Newcastle, so one of those I think will drop out of the top 8. Whoever wins that. Whoever loses that. Let me just have a look who's playing who, because I'm just trying to see. I do think Barcelona will make it. They play home to Copenhagen, where I think they will win. Chelsea are playing Napoli away. They should be okay. Napoli need to win, otherwise they're not even going to be in the qualifiers because they're 25th. Benfica have got Real Madrid. Even Real Madrid could drop out. Greenwood's got it on the wing here. Newcastle 3-0. Did we tell you about the 3rd goal? Harvey Barnes. Welsh. Harvey Barnes. Wales will be happy tonight. If you know, you know. Big goal for Chelsea, though. I mean, if they hadn't got that late goal, well, it'd be a different story. They wouldn't be in the top 8. Thanks everyone who's tuned in tonight, by the way. Thoroughly enjoyed these last 2 games. We have got Bundesliga live on Friday night, and we'll have some content for you tomorrow. Premier League predictions on Friday morning, and then we're live for Bournemouth against Liverpool on Saturday at 5:30 as well. Cooper says, do you think Man United will finish 4th? I think anything I say about Man United at the moment is pure guesswork. It was a good result against Man City, but it was a good result for Bodo Glimt as well. I think we'll learn a lot more about Man United after they've played Arsenal, Fulham and Spurs. Win them 3 on top of the Man City result. I think we've got a great chance, but let's see. It'd be just typical now, though, if United start winning, Chelsea and Liverpool and Newcastle will start finding consistency as well. Because everybody's been shit up until this point. But it wouldn't surprise me if Liverpool, Chelsea and Man United all start winning now, matching each other. Gold Diggers says, hot take, Arsenal will get top 4. Yeah, I think that's a really hot take, mate, and you might be right. Elliot Taylor says they've knocked down Broadmarsh bus station now. Hashtag pigeon justice. I haven't been into Nottingham city centre in about 12 years. I bet it's completely different. Gakpo. Good cross, no one's there. He can't believe it. He's fuming. He's absolutely fuming. He's saying, I've put a good cross in and there's no one there. Where is, when's Liverpool fans more? Where is, when is I've been to Rock City loads of times, Josh, yeah. Both as a concert venue and a nightclub. When is Isaac back? Gareth Owen says he's a Liverpool fan. Thanks for the super chat. Watch all your watch-alongs. So much better than TV comms. Great content across all your channels. Well, that's a real feather in the cap of the community, so thank you very much, Gareth. April for Isaac, 3 months. Yeah. Bit of a write-off season then, isn't it? They're not going to the World Cup, are they? Or are they? World Cup qualifiers. I think they might be in the qualifiers. They're going to be big in March. Yeah, they've got Ukraine. And then if they beat Ukraine, they've got Wales or Bosnia. I think these qualifiers are going to be very interesting because Italy, Northern Ireland, Republic of Ireland, Czech Republic. It's going to be tough. Which place would you put United player for player? Says Alexander. I think on squad, United are somewhere between 5th and 10th. I've always said that. Why do you think there's a lot less dribblers in football? I feel like in early 2000s and 2010s, there were way more players that would take someone on 1v1 or skip through a couple of players and score, says Caleb. Mate, I'm telling you for free, the reason there is not many dribblers in the game now is because it's not coached. And that's men's and women's football. I've seen firsthand academy football a lot over the last few years. And you listen to the coaches on the side. I've done a bit of coaching myself. And it's funny enough, just before Christmas, I was thinking I'd like to get back into coaching because I'm not saying I'm a good coach or anything like that, but I have a distinctive way of how I think it should be played, and I'm sure a lot of you do as well. And I see a lot of the way academies do it, and I don't like it. I don't like the way that they train them. There should be a goal for Marseille. Great save, Alisson. From Aubameyang as well. Yeah. So look, you watch a lot of coaching nowadays, and it's almost frowned upon to take somebody on. And there's a mix to that. You don't want to be a ball hogger. You see some people in the net, they don't want to pass. I mean, I like the passing game. I hate the long ball. I was watching a game about 4 years ago between two academies, and I was stood on the side with all the parents, and one of the teams was playing out from the back, and one of the teams, their parents were going, "Oh, we keep nearly scoring," because they were pressing them. And in their heads, they were thinking, well, we're near their goal and we're nearly intercepting the pass. But I was like, they're obviously drilling into them to play out from the back. And one of the teams was playing out from the back with a passing game, and the other one would just go route one all the time. And it was interesting to watch two different styles of play, but very little individualism. This should be 3 for Liverpool. Oh, you'll be happy now, Gakpo. You'll be happy now. Put a cross in a couple of minutes ago that no one was on the end of, but that was a smooth finish into the bottom corner. I did say 3-1 Liverpool. I don't think Marseille are going to get a goal now because there's 50 seconds left. Gravenberch, really good play. It's a good finish. There's still a bit of work to do for Gakpo from where he is. But that's what elite footballers do. From that distance, they'll put it on a 10-pence piece. Look, no messing about. Power, low, bottom corner. I actually think Liverpool's best 11 is Konate, Van Dijk, Robertson, Frimpong, Alisson as your back five. Obviously, McAllister, Szoboszlai and Gravenberch in your midfield. Salah on the right, Ekitike up front and Gakpo on the left. I've always felt that. But he has to shoehorn Wirtz in, doesn't he? And Wirtz is a good player, but I just think you're better off with Gakpo on the left. Natural winger. Fantastic game. Have you ever been confused with H from Steps? Funnily enough, no. Definitely haven't. Grealish, totally different player at Villa v City, says Ian O'Connell. Exactly. How does our season change if we beat Spurs in the final, says Zaid? Well, it could be worse. Playing all those games with that team, we could have been in a worse situation. Brilliant. Thanks everyone for tuning. I'm going to do a match reaction now, and I will speak to you later, but thank you for your company. Bruno has beaten Szoboszlai 53% to 47% on who has been the better player this season. Big win for Liverpool. Take care, everyone. I'll speak to you on the next one. Make sure you subscribe. Thanks for watching.